My favourite memory of playing for Drummond T. Um, Probably not an easy question. There's no one particular memory. It's just generally playing with my friends and my family. I know that sounds like a very obvious answer, but even to this day, the boys that I played football with, my friends are still the best friends in my life. And those are the boys that will go to your wedding. Those are the boys will help you out when you're in a bit of trouble. If there's a death in the family, those are the boys will be carrying coffins. So the best memory of what Drumty offered to me was the boys I played with, the friends I made, pulling that jersey on. I still remember certain training sessions, change rooms before county finals, the crack afterwards. It's not necessarily any one game or any particular moment. As soon as we meet each other on the street or at the shop, immediately those memories come flooding back of tackling grids you done, even trouble you get in when you're out at night time, stories about when you went away and stayed for nights, team bonding sessions. Those are the memories that always stick with you. Obviously, that's the friends, but then I was lucky enough to play with my brothers as well. So those are probably the best memories of my footballing career, was playing with my brothers as well. Obviously, a lot of fighting with each other, but as soon as you pull on that jersey and cross the white line, you would go to battle, go to war for one another, and likewise with your friends as well. So, best memory is friends I've made, bonds created, friendships just stick with you for life. Advice I'd give my younger self: probably work more on my basic skills, and particularly my weaker foot was a major issue. Generally, I had probably Gavin would never remember me playing, but I was very aggressive. Probably got myself in a lot of trouble on the pitch. Liked getting in people's faces, all of that. My work rate was never in question. Um, Pretty bright footballer, all of that. Played at a fairly high level, so obviously strong in a lot of areas. But the one area I found at the very top level that probably held me back was unable to use my left foot, particularly under pressure. Scoring was a problem for me, but that wasn't really my area of expertise. I wish when I was 14, 15, 16, and so on, I'd worked more on my basic skills, particularly my weaker foot. I was a very committed player in terms of off the field, so didn't have to go back. If I ever went back, I wouldn't have to question that area of things. Like I liked socialising when off season and going on holidays like everybody else did, but generally I was 24/7 committed to playing football. Maybe diet. Gavin might have similar body shape that I have. He looks fairly solid. So as you get older, 19, 20, 21, diet becomes a problem. But right now, no. I was never really afraid of crossing the line in terms of aggression, getting sent off, and you'd rather that in a player than trying to get out of them. So don't be concerned about being overly aggressive, being physical. Those are all things that you need to bring, and Gavin has that in his game. But the one area I wish I'd concentrated on more was my basic skills, in particular using my weaker foot. Probably answered the last question on my first question: what makes a club special? Like, the club is your life to a point. Like, obviously we all have families and we all have work and all that there, but outside of that, the club is what is the most important thing. It's what comes next. You can see the hub that it is there. I like taking my kids down around it. There's a good feeling about it. Your friends are still there. You meet new people. Probably the young lads now are very lucky in how our club is run, because back when I was growing up, you would never went to the field with your mates for a bit of crack. You would never done any of that. But now it's just, there's nothing but positive energy coming out of the club. So it's extremely special in that way. The young kids look up to Lexi Gavin, and then Gavin then will look up to older players and so on. You get to meet, I'm not going to say heroes or so on, you get to meet people that you hold in high esteem, that you look up to, and you'll be taught the right morals and how to live your life. Like if one player is misbehaving away from the pitch, you would hope the rest of the boys would get him back in line. If somebody's been a disruptive figure, even in around the club or in around a football team, you would hope that his teammates and friends will control that as well. So it it helps set a level of discipline amongst the players as well. Even go down the football field there now, parents all get on, seeing the blitzes recently, everybody comes together with the one goal of making the club successful. Extremely special club. I see other clubs around the area and they're nowhere near where we are. Like the first answer I give, the friends you make will stay with you for life. Like Gavin will be very lucky in that Fergus, Keane, James, them boys will be friends for life. Even if they go away and live across the water, different parts of the world, it'll always come back to the Drumley Club. If somebody gets in trouble, if somebody has a death in the family, anybody needs help, the first people you usually call is your teammates because they're your best friends. That's what the club does for you. Just builds friendships and bonds.